I wonder if people like that video I made about JINHSI's kit and actually want a guide. Holy shit, you guys ate that the hell up. Alright, gotcha. Well, guess what we know what we're doing today? Welcome to the Idiot's Guide for JINHSI. This part should be pretty quick since there's already a shitload of information dump all over the internet that you can Google for maps on where to level her up. However, I'll go over real quick and probably put some kind of image showing what you need to level her up or something. Credit for the image will probably be in the pinned comment, so just check there if you really want to see. There's a new flower called Long's Pearl, which you can buy them from the shop, and they're scattered in the new area of Mount Firmament, so go explore, you dumbass. For boss level up materials are dropped by the Morning Ike, so beat the stupid bird within an inch of its life, then bomb it with the most powerful skill you have in your arsenal, cause the bird is annoying for flying away all the goddamn time. HF Howler cores are everywhere, you get them from killing shit, so rip and tear until it is done. The wave-worn residue, which looks like a glowy rock in some kind of pearl or something dumb like that, you can farm to level her skills, and you're gonna need a lot of them. Finally, not only is it her signature echo, but it's also her boss skill material, so get used to killing GOA. A lot. Especially if you have bad RNG. Good luck. Now we're gonna talk about the absolute information overload that Kuro was kind enough to provide as JINHSI's kit, and if you're dyslexic like me, your mind exploded trying to read all that. But since my mind is already done for, I'll go ahead and break down the kit and make sure it is easy as possible to understand for the dumbass in the back who didn't clean out his ears. So, JINHSI's kit description has enough word vomit to make me really wish I wasn't dyslexic, but don't worry, I'm going to break it down as simple as possible and try to keep it as short as possible, as to not waste everybody's fucking time. So, whenever you start a fight, namely the important ones like Tower of Adversity and so on, it's really important you make sure that you start with JINHSI. Okay, so you need to combo basic 4 attacks to enter the incandescent state. After that, JINHSI will float like a dragon princess that she is and gain a second moveset.
This is where the fun begins.
This is where all her damage is, so after you enter Dragon Princess mode, as it has now been called by me and now by you, you'll have options, such as Echo, basic attack 4 times, or use skill, then basic 4 times, followed by the first skill, which triggers incandescence. Enhanced skill, then basic 4 times. The important thing is making sure that the skill becomes a nuke it button, essentially. This acts as some sort of secondary ultimate and triggers the Union buff, which in big idiot terms means you don't use your Concerto energy to trigger your intros and outros of the next character you're swapping into following JINHSI up. This becomes important because to max out her damage, you want to start with her to help build up her forte gauge with a little something called incandescence. This is what becomes the bread and butter of her kit. So, how do you gain incandescence? Simply put, you trigger coordinated attacks with characters that have coordinated attacks built into their kits. No shit. So, characters like Farina, Yinlin, Mortefi, Baiji, and Yuanwu all have this. Now, it's important to note that you don't want to use 2 of the same element for support. So my recommendation is Yinlin or Mortefi, and then Verena for max stacks and damage. If you don't have Verena, then you can use someone like Baiji for support, or don't get hit. I would go into the math of how all this is calculated, but you came here for me to dumb it down, so I'm not going to be doing any of that. Okay, so now you know how to grow her glowing gold dragon bar and make it give her big stacks faster. Now what? Well, at the end of her opening rotation, switch off into your supports, perform their kits, then swap back into JINHSI. Use your Echo, perform basic attack 4 times. Enter the Dragon Princess state. Skill. Enhance basic 4 times, and then you should have that skill button glowing a beautiful gold and ready to be used. This is where the incandescence is used, and the higher you have her forte gauge, the more damage her enhanced skill will do. That pretty much sums up her kit and dumbs it down as much as I can. So, take with that information what you will. JINHSI is a very complex character with a lot of technicalities, something that I like personally, however that's just me. So I already explained the best units that I use, and basically anybody who uses coordinated attacks is the best. Don't stack more of the one same element, and from there just get creative and try different things. This one size team doesn't always fit all. For instance, I really like using my Yinlin with JINHSI. However, she is the best electro support for Calcharo on my other team, so if you have to use both in the Tower of Adversity, Mortefi would be another great choice. As for healing support, if you're not using Verena or you don't have her, either Baiji or get good and not get hit. Anyway, finally, let's talk about the possible weapons that you can use on the said Dragon Princess. So it should be obvious that our best in slot weapon is going to be the Ages of Harvest, seeing as it's her signature weapon, and it fucking better be, especially since Kuro made me go to Pity, and gave me 2 of them all in the same temple. I don't have access to the other 5-star weapons for testing, but Verdant Summit would be the second, followed by Lustrous Razor for the 3rd place, mainly because it ain't got good. Her best 4-star weapons that you aren't using because you already pulled her weapon because you have Quest, don't you, would be the Helios Quiver. Another weapon I don't have to test with, but if the description is anything to go off of, then I should be right about that. However, if you don't have that, then Autumn Trace, which you get from the Battle Pass, is the next best option. And finally, the Broadway 41 is dog ass. So I go for one of the other ones or something, but if you really have no other choice, then it'd probably be better than Discord. Alright, let's talk about Echoes. This part is actually pretty simple, as Jui is the best in slot, costs 4 Echo with whatever crit stat you can get your grubby little hands on. Double spectral damage for your 3 cost Echoes, and your attack percent costs are going to be 1. I want to keep this part as brief as possible since skills are pretty straightforward, and Symphony is pretty much a whale thing more than anything else. And if you're going to whale, then you're going to whale. Well, personally, I would level all skills because she deserves it. Forte Circuit and Resonance skill are the 2 most important ones to level up, followed by the normal attack. Resonance, Liberation, and Intro skill. Her inherent skill, Radiant Surge, is the most important one as it increases spectro damage by 20%, and the second one increases JINHSI's intro skill, Long's Halo. Why they insist upon saying Long instead of Dragon, I'll never know. Anyway, it increases it by 50%. Still recommend leveling up everything, but you do you, Buttercup. On to her Resonance chain then. Her first one gives you stacks, and then when you do big PP damage skill, you get an extra 20% damage. Her second one restores 50 incandescence while staying out of combat for more than 4 seconds, meaning you have to re-engage in combat and you have full stats. Her third one gives you an extra 25% attack when casting your intro skill, Dragon Halo. Yes, I called it Dragon this time, and no, I'm not apologizing. You can stack this twice with it resetting within 20 seconds. The fourth one busts your other characters on the team when casting ult or her big PP skill, Illuminous Epiphany. The fifth one just increases damage by 120%. The sixth one increases your Illuminous Epiphany by 45%, and the damage multiplier increased by incandescence is increased by 45%. Yes, this makes sure that if it wasn't dead before, it's really fucking dead now. Honestly, I'm really glad we have such a complex character in the game now. Makes the game more fun for me, personally, than the fact that she's a wifey who's absolutely gorgeous and I've been simping for since day one. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, final thoughts. For Kit, while complete, once learned is pretty easy to get used to, and the most important parts I went over. However, if you have to break combo to dodge, then you can usually just restart the combo pretty easily. Well, anyway, that's gonna do it for me, everyone. And that's my overall thoughts. I want to marry JINHSI, and I love her more than air. So, let me know what you thought of the guide in the description down below, and if this video helped you, then maybe drop a like and subscribe, as it really helps my channel. Or don't. Your choice. I usually stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/MimicSouls, where I really just kind of meme around, and so feel free to join us in our shenanigans. And with that, everyone, have a great rest of your day. Are they gone now? Good. JINHSI is my wife, fuckers, and you can't have her.